What is this on my screen? Okay, I had to get that off my screen. And not sure if I'm live or not. Hopefully I am. Uh, Hopefully I'm set up right and I'm live. I'll wait a few minutes to see. Okay, here I am. Here I am. I'm live. So, happy Thankful Thursday. Happy Thankful Thursday. Uh, I do these videos, and I don't do it every week because I didn't stop doing it every week because I lost my speaker. I lost some of the things that I needed to do it with, but um, wanted to do it today. And the title is Now What, because I like those catchy titles. I like those catchy titles, and Now What seemed like a catchy title, but it does go with what I want to talk about on Thankful Thursday. Am I just thankful on Thursday? Of course not. Hey, Verbal Assassin, it's not going to be messy. uh, I know that's right. You said I know that's right. It's not gonna be messy. It's I just like them catchy titles. It's, on Thursday I do Thankful Thursday. Am I just thankful on Thursday? Heck no, I'm thankful every day. But Thursday, sometimes I do these videos on Thursday to remind myself and others why, in spite of the fact that we're going through, we should yet be thankful. Hey, CCNTV. Hello, hello. Thank y'all for coming in. Just really quick. I'm just gonna talk really quick because I'm on my break. Concerning Thankful Thursday, but why did I put Now What? You see people just talking doom and gloom about what's going on in our country, what's going on in life, what could happen, and everything, and it's like a lot of times I want to ask those people. So what's your solution? What's your answer after you tell us all the things that could go wrong and is wrong and what could happen? What's Oh, okay. What you say now? Well, I did expect that from you now, so yeah, I just didn't want people to think that I was clickbaiting, you know. Well, kind of I was with the title a little bit, but I just like to be honest with folks. Hey, enjoy life. How you doing, sugar? So, you want to ask people, so you done told me all the stuff, okay? They they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. The orange one gonna do that, and this gonna happen, and then people losing their jobs. Now what? What? Now what? Now what? What? Now that you don't put me in a dark space, what I'm supposed to do? Now let me say this. Um, that does not mean that I don't feel like people have a right to vent. We do indeed have a right to vent. We do indeed have a right to get upset. I was watching Really Be TV last night. The last live that she did. What was that live called? I forgot what that live was called, but she was hot. She was hot and she was cussing. She had seen something particular on the beef sector earlier that day that didn't sit right in her spirit. And then, or didn't sit right with her. I shouldn't say that. Y'all know I talk all churchy. Didn't sit right with her. And then later on, she got a video and she got some, where uh, the national troops, the National Guard troops, police and ICE. Let me just say it right. ICE was in her neighborhood, in the neighborhood she grew up in the neighborhood where her parents still yet live, um, where her sister, brother-in-law, and her nephew live. Just 5 minute walk from where she grew up, where her parents still live, was ICE. Looked like checkpoints. It had looked like the freaking border out there. Like loads and tons of people out there. And it's not only going to happen there in DC where she's from, but they're going to Chicago. They're going to a city in Texas. They're going to places in South Carolina. I'm not saying that people should not be upset with what's happening to Medicaid, what's happening to SNAP, what's happening with these uh, these checkpoints in the National Guard. We about to have domestic war on American soil. My kids told me the name of that last night when they were talking about it. I can't remember the name of it. I have to type it out because I can't remember. I'm not saying that we should not be upset with what's happening in our country. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that when we come on and we talk about these things that are going on, what's the solution? What's the solution? Like, you know, And really, again, we should be able to vent because vent is really good for us mentally. But I'm more focused on uh, talking to people about what can they do about, I can't tell you what you can do. I can tell you, well, get you two or three more jobs. Well, might be two or three more jobs available. So I don't know the solution to you. Like if they telling you your job because if you don't, your SNAP is going to be turned off or whatever, or Medicaid or whatever. I don't know the solution to that. I can only speak to you to help you with your or attempt, and I'm not speaking to you in the position of a therapist. Let me give that disclaimer. I'm not speaking to you in the position of a clergy. I'm not speaking to you in the position of a therapist or anything in the mental state, but I am speaking to you just from somebody who's hit my button and went live and telling you that as you go through this and as you see this and as you acknowledge this and as you prepare for this, keep your mental state good. Keep your mental state good. And I would like to encourage all of the content creators who are influencers. When you do share this information with people, and I'm not meaning somebody who come on and vent like Really B TV did last night. She has a right to do that. But I'm saying if this is your content, if this is your forever going forward content, be mindful that people are going through. And if you're putting them in a state where you're giving them all of this doom and gloom information, what are they going to put that? What are they supposed to do with that? Be mindful. Be mindful of that. Try to say something encouraging. After you give them all the doom and gloom, try to tell them something encouraging. Because a lot of times we try to give advice and we don't know everybody's individual situation. We don't live in every state. I can tell you what's going on in North Carolina, and I probably can give you some pointers of what you can look for to kind of help your situation in North Carolina. But I can't tell you how to help your situation in Utah because I don't live in Utah. So the only thing I can share as a content creator is try to encourage you and tell you to keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about tomorrow. Be proactive rather than reactive, like meaning that if you know certain things that's coming down the pipe that you're going to have to do to keep your benefits, prepare for that. Know what paperwork you're going to need. Know what you're going to need to do. Try to get ahead of it. But worrying about things that you can't do nothing about, like I often tell my friends, and I know I hope that y'all are getting what I'm saying because I'm probably rambling a little bit and talking in circles, but I often share with my friends, I can't sit around and stare at the TV and worry about the orange man all day long because I had issues before the orange man became president that I was worried about, that I was concerned about, that was a concern for me. And whether he's president or not, wasn't going to change those situations that I was concerned about. So I didn't have the luxury to sit and be very concerned about him. And am I concerned about what he's doing and what could come to North Carolina and what could hit my life? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm 55 years old, which means I can retire in 6-7 years. Is there going to be Social Security there for me? I'm concerned. I'm not dumb. Is my 401k plan going to be affected? Is my retirement pension going to be affected? And y'all, some companies have where you had a little pension and then you also can get a 401k plan, things like that. Will it be affected by this economy and interest rates? Thank God I'm on a fixed rate in my mortgage, but will my property value go down? Your net worth is not how much salary or how much you make on your job, but it's your overall. What's your 401k worth? What's your house worth? What your land worth? What things you own? I'm not saying that I'm not concerned because I am an adult. Of course I'm concerned. I have children who pay rent. Is rent gonna go up? So the job market. One of my daughters, she is very, very, very close to graduation, and she was thinking that she may go into education, and because of how education is in North Carolina and how they changing things and moving things, she was like, "Mama, no, ain't no way, heck no, I want to teach the children, but I want to be able to pay my bills too." And the way North Carolina's going, you teach children, you ain't gonna be able to. And I know it's children, y'all, but y'all know I'm country. You teach children, you ain't gonna be able to pay. You ain't gonna be able to eat, pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? You got to live in that classroom. So I am concerned. But what I want to come on here today is to encourage you to know that we are people that have been through hard times, and we've seen our way, and we've seen our way through hard times. We come from ancestors that had to endure hardness as good soldiers, and they survived and they made it. We are survivors. But I want you to guard your spirit and guard your heart and guard your mind. Don't get so caught up with this that when we come out of this, because the orange man, what he's trying to do, I don't know whether he'll be successful at it. So eventually, hopefully, preferably, he won't be the president anymore, and then somebody can come in behind him and clean up this mess. I want you to be in a good state when that happens. I want you to be in a good place mentally. I don't want this whole thing to take you down and you be depressed and downtrodden and just can't pull yourself out. What am I saying? Cruz, what are you talking about? I'm saying stay encouraged. Keep your mental state up. Keep yourself encouraged. Don't let this thing bring you down. Don't let it consume you. Don't let it overtake you to where you think that the orange man is all powerful and all in control. Because he's not. He's not. He may be in the president of the United States, but he's at the end of the day. At the end of the day, if nature come through right now and say it's going to be a hurricane, it's going to be a hurricane. Ain't nothing he could do about it. So whether it's God you believe in, the Lord, Jesus, the universe, nature, he ain't in control is my point. If he can't control whether it rains or if the sun comes out, he can't control whether it's strong wind or no wind. He can't control any of that. We're in North Carolina. It's in August, and last night was cold. I turned my air conditioner off. What do I mean by that? We know who's in control. So anytime you get overwhelmed, and we are. I don't even live in DC. And when I saw that video yesterday, I immediately went to anger. I said, what in the... I was like, what the hell is this? And when I hear people saying, oh, I like what's going on. I can't wait to get to me. I'm like, what the hell? Are you crazy? What's wrong with you? Are you ignorant? Sir, ma'am, are you ignorant? Listen, I get into but I have to bring myself back. It's okay to vent. It's okay to go off, but we have to bring ourselves back. You know, we have a right to. It's the right thing to do, to vent, to voice out our concerns, to voice out what it is that we don't like. That's okay, and that's expected, and that's what we should do for our mental state. Get it out. But don't stay there. And for those of you who are influencers, please, with the doom and gloom, please. Please, if you're going to give the doom and gloom, give some encouragement. And give some encouragement beyond just your situation. Let the people know that they're going to be okay. Let them know they're going to be okay. Okay? Is that all right? That's all I ask. Good morning, Miss Toby. Good morning, Melissa Scott Coffee. Good morning, the Bushes. Good morning, Faith is the Substance. Y'all make sure y'all watch Faith is the Substance. She is a content creator now. She's over there doing content. She's doing interviews with people. She getting it up out the ground, honey. She's getting it up out the ground. She's making her way the hard way, which was, in the long run. Right now it might be annoying, but in the long run, when you do it that way, then it's better in the long run. But y'all go check her out. We're walking with her. We're going to church with her. So check out Faith is the Substance. If you haven't subscribed to her yet, check out her channel. The Bishop says, I believe with every problem you should have at least one solution or plan of action. Yeah. You should, absolutely. If it ain't nothing but I'm moving to Indonesia, tell us something. Give us something. Once you tell us everything. Jill Comfort Zone. Right, I can't have that man in my mind 24/7. I'm just focusing on planning ahead. Hey, M. Renee. And thank you, M. Renee. Thank you for the Cash App. It was somebody else out. Leslie, thank you. Thank you, Red Wings Hockey. I didn't see it until I got off my live. So thank you for being a blessing and for that Cash App. Hey, T. Danielle. So I hope that y'all understood what I was attempting to say about, being encouraged. Hey, Church Mouse. Hey, Sugar. Hey, what was said? Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I hope that y'all understand what I was attempting to say about being encouraged, and if you are an influencer, try to when you give everybody all of the stuff that's going to happen, this going to happen, he going to do this, and you better prepare for this, and you ain't going to have no place to stay. Lift them back up. Because we got to keep our mind going. We got to keep our spirits up. Yesterday, for I don't know why. It could be 1,000 reasons why I could give to you. But yesterday during my lunch, didn't really want to eat anything. Y'all know I work from home, so a lot of times I go in the kitchen. I cook my dinner during my lunch hour and stuff like that. But yesterday I didn't. I ate some leftovers, and I was like, what am I going to do? I need to step back from my desk some, because really, I always got to keep my spirits up because my job is slightly morbid. But so I said, let me step away from this for a minute. And I was thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I don't know. I just kind of felt blah. So I said, well, let me take a ride. And I hate driving, but I said, let me go over here and see this grandson of mine. He always pick me up, honey. He makes me smile and gives me joy. And then while I was over there, of course, I could possibly see my children. My two daughters live together with my grandson. So I said, I'll possibly give my children. And as I was pulling up, my sister, who lives about 4 blocks away, my oldest sister, I have 3 sisters. So my oldest sister, who just live a few blocks away from my kids, she saw me and she turned around. She turned the car around. So I was like, hey, I get to see my sister. I don't get to see her that often. So that uplifted me. And then as I pulled into the driveway, my son walked out. Then I saw my son. I said, oh, my son's here. So I got to see one of my babies. My babies are 31. My son will be 31 in October. My daughter will be 29. That's my grandson Zion's mama will be 29 tomorrow, and my baby turned 25 last week on the 16th. But anyway, they're all my babies, so you can hear me refer to them as my babies. So I saw my oldest baby, and then walked a little further. Then I saw my grandson, and my daughter, his mama, and then I saw my baby girl. And by the time I rode home in a better mood. So sometimes just take a ride, take a walk. But whatever you do, keep your spirits up as we live in these hard times. Now, before I go, I'm going to share something with you guys that I heard. I heard that encouraged me. At first, I started not listening to the whole thing because I was like, why he got to play that music in the background? That music. Now, if you're listening to me, sir, because this guy, his name is Sirfield TV. Sirfield TV. Every now and then, not often, but every now and then he'll check out my channel. And it shocks me every time he do. Sir, if you hear this, don't get offended. I almost didn't listen to you because that music in the background was giving me Benny Hinn. It's like, what kind of Benny Hinn is this? But the video itself, the words that he said encouraged me. So I want to play it for y'all on this Thankful Thursday.
I just came on here to tell somebody that he is making a way. God is making a way for you. Some of you are battling in your mind, in your spirit. The reason why you're battling so much because there's an unusual warfare that you have never dealt with before. You're dealing with something that has oppressed you, that has depressed you, that has brought a different level of stress that you almost can't even bear it. But he said, I won't put more on you. You cannot bear it. I'm trying to get all this out. but you're bearing it, but you're going through the motions and this and that, but it's like there's still so much on you. And you're carrying so much to the point where it's like, I need God to do something immediately. But God just did it in an instant. Because what you're worrying about, he done already fixed it and turned it around. I came on here to prophesy to about whoever will listen to this, to tell you God just made a way. Hey, glory. God just made a way. And you're about to have supernatural strength like you've never had it before. Yeah, I know this. Yeah, I know that. Stop going to God about your excuses and start going to him, praising him. Because in your praise, the miracle is being formed as you're praising him. Go to him telling God, I thank you, I praise you. Yeah, I'm hurting, but I give you glory. God, I trust you like never before, because you never had to trust God like you're trusting him now. And God is making a way. Father, we praise you. We give you glory.
So I did want to share that. I get tickled at myself, and I was like, what kind of Benny Hinn music going on in the background? But thank God for the words. I'm glad that I stopped and I listened to it, because he's making a way. You know, regardless of what you're going through, what it looked like. And that's why I do this Thankful Thursday, and that's why I say all is well, because regardless of what you're going through, what you're experiencing, it could be a big thing, a small thing, and you could be experiencing nothing but having to deal with the orange man and everything that he's doing. But whatever it is, just understand that he is in control. He do see and he do know. And he's going to see you through it. Something I wanted to share last week, and I never did come on and shared it last week. And what I wanted to share last week is in the midst of everything that I'm going through. And like I said, y'all, I was going through some stuff before the orange man became president. But now in the midst of everything that I'm seeing, that I'm experiencing, that he is doing, that's affecting our world, it seems like God is blessing. I'm seeing answered prayers through it. The things that I said that I was going through, that I didn't even have the luxury to worry about him, because I was going through some stuff before him. But in the midst of that, I'm seeing answered prayers. I'm seeing answer in the midst of this storm, and I was sharing with some friends yesterday. I saw something about a Leo. It's talking about a Leo, and it had this video of this woman, and she was sitting there just eating her food like she didn't have a care in the world. She looked good. She was cutting up what looked like it might have been lamb or lobster or something like that. It looked like it was a luxury. And it says, this is how Leos can be going through, but people think that they just fine because this is how they go through. And I often tell people, don't you ever in your life feel like, oh, I want her life. Talking about me, Geneva Cruiser, because you don't know. I could be sitting on the beach and going through and fighting some stuff, okay, and have been. But it looks like it's all right, but it's almost like, you know, metaphorically swimming through hell, you know, just moving. But anyway, but in spite of that. I have some things that I have been going through and praying about in the midst of this storm. I can't remember whether it was this week or at the end of last week, but it was recently. I said, wait a minute. I see God answering some prayers. I see some things. Wait a minute. I don't want to knock on wood, because, you know, as soon as you start saying, wait a minute, I see this thing happening, you know, you be thinking, now I don't want to say it out loud because the enemy might, you know, be like, I'm going to trick you. But I said, I'm going to knock on faith. Because I see some things happening. I see some things turning around. I see some things, you know, that's, you know, I see some answered prayers. Hey, bourbon bubblegum, know what I'm talking about. I see some answered prayers. I see some things happening. In the midst of this, in the midst of the orange man probably bringing them troops on ice on around here. And don't you think for a minute, let me tell y'all something. Don't you think for a minute, well, I'm American, you know, I'm black. You know, they don't you think they can't make a mistake and pick you up? Don't you think they can't make a mistake? So don't say, well, that's on them. That's their problem. They in my neighborhood. I ain't done nothing. I'm good. I'm good. There's a lot of good people that has been wrongfully detained. It's a concern. It's a very valid concern. It's a very valid concern. Don't dig your head in the sand and say it can't be me. But in the midst of that, in the midst of the concern, also don't ignore the blessings of God. Also don't ignore the fact that he got his angels encamped around you and yours, and that he can protect you and yours. Don't forget that he's in control, and acknowledge at all times that he is indeed in control. You know, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go on about my business, because I probably talked longer than I expected to talk. It makes me think about Peter. I might have shared this with y'all already. I might have shared this on Sunday. Peter decided he wanted to get out the boat. Oh, cousin Peter. I like Peter, because Peter's like me. He snap off. You know, he want to follow Jesus, but then his spirit want to follow Jesus, but his flesh want to do something else. I can identify with old Peter. Peter liked to cuss, so do I. Peter wanted to jump out the water. Peter was one of the ones, you know, he wanted to hang around Jesus. He saw Jesus out the water. I want to get out. I want to get out there too. And it was in the midst of a storm. Jesus walking on the water. I want to walk on the water too. He said, bid me to come. Jesus said, come on in. Come on out here. So, you know, of course, Peter probably could feel all the water on his feet. He probably was cold, water splashing all against him. His clothes wet. He wet. It's cold out there. I don't care. Honey, you can go out in the water in the summertime. You're going to get it's going to be a little cold when that water first hits you. I don't care how hot it is. So I don't know whether it was wintertime, summertime, fall time, wind time. It was, you know, he was out in the storm and he was feeling every drop of it. But he was okay as long as he was keeping his eyes on Jesus. But as soon as he started seeing the conditions around him, fear came in, doubt came in, all those feelings. He lost his peace. But when he focused back on Jesus, he was able to walk again. Watch God, not the wind. There's things going on all around us, and I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it is not going on all around us. But what I'm saying is, watch God, not the wind. So I want y'all to live in peace on purpose. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm living in peace on purpose. I'm not engaging. I might see, but I ain't engaging. Tell the Lord thank you. Purpose said, yes, Father is faithful, and he is not bound by administration, the left side nor the right side. He owns the hill and all the cattle on the hill. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yeah, she said, no, don't knock on wood. That has nothing to do with the Father and him blessing, answering prayers in innermost depths of your soul. Only him knows is already doing. You just ain't seen it yet. Yes, you know, how that scripture say, ears have not heard, eyes have not seen, and ears have not heard. Okay? I don't know the rest of it. That's all of it, and I know, child. But anyway, thank y'all again for coming in. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening to me rambling. Listen, I'm going to try to do this on Thursday. I don't care about these numbers. You know, this is good for me, and I hope that it's a blessing to those who come in here. So thank you again. Remember to live in peace on purpose, and no matter what's going through, you're all right. All is well. You're going to make it. You're going to make it. I ain't never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. If you say, well, I ain't the righteous. I'm like you, Cruiser. I'm old heathen. We ain't righteous. Well, he takes care of the just as well as the unjust, if you need a scripture for that. In other words, we're going to be all right. Keep praying, keep believing. It's going to be okay. Y'all have a good day, and thank you so much again for coming in.